1 course. We are ready for lesson 12. The A declension, alpha declension, masculine. And so these are just like our first declension, alpha declension, but these words are masculine. And so the only difference is, as you can see in looking over these endings, differences with the normal alpha declension, is that these all have the genitive in oo, like second declension masculine nouns. So you can look those over, but really that is the only difference. So you've got your vowel stems that have alpha all the way through the plural, or excuse me, the singular. You've got your consonantal stems like palites that have eta all the way through the singular, except of course for the genitive in oo. Yeah, so that's not too difficult there. We do have a new vocabulary form here, section 147 on page 42. Commit to memory the following model sentences. Hoi polemioi faberoi e san maken. The enemy were terrible in battle, and kam no tain kephalein. I have a pain in my head. Observe that maken in the accusative case in 1 shows in what respect the enemy are terrible, and tain kephalein in 2 shows the part affected by kamno, I have a pain in my head. This is called the accusative of specification. So 148, rule of syntax, the accusative of specification with a verb, adjective, noun, or clause denotes a part or quality to the expression to which the expression refers. So, I just add this to a note card, to a vocabulary card, the accusative of specification. That the accusative can be used to show in what respect a verb, adjective, noun, or clause, how that refers to something. That something will be in the accusative. All right, vocabulary. Deipnon. Deipnon is a dinner or supper. Ta didaskaleion is a school, the school, ta didaskaleion. Ha didaskalos. Ha didaskalos is the teacher. Ta kramoan. Ta kramoan is an onion. Ha mathetes. Ha mathetes, the scholar. Ha neanias. Ha neanias, the young man. Ha xerxes, Xerxes. Ta osprion. Ta osprion, beans. Ha perses. Ha perses, the Persian. Ha palites. Ha palites, citizen. So notice this is why it's important to put the definite article with your vocabulary, because you need to remember that palites is in fact masculine. Same with ha satrapes. Ha satrapes, a satrap, a Persian governor. Ha stratiotes. Ha stratiotes, the soldier. A couple verbs. Thaumazo, and then it's aorist, athaumasa, and it's perfect tethaumaka, to wonder at or admire. Manthano, an aorist emathon, and a perfect mamatheka. So you need to learn those irregular principal parts with this vocabulary. So again, on the front of your card it should say thaumazo, and on the back it should say I wonder at, and then give its irregular principal parts, athaumasa and tethaumaka. And then similarly with manthano. All right, you can pause the tape and work out the translations, and then start it up to get the corrections. Hoida palitai tes nesu agathoe san maken. Hoida palitai tes nesu agathoe san maken. So our verb is very easy, asan, third person plural, imperfect. But the citizens of the island, that genitive, tes nesu, of the island, were good in battle. There's that accusative of specification. 2. Taton stratioton deipnon ein aspria kai kramua. Taton stratioton deipnon ein aspria kai kramuan. But the dinner of the soldiers was beans and onions. 3. Tis edidaxa tus neanias into didaskaleu. Tis edidaxa tus neanias into didaskaleo. So our verb, didaxa, that's from didasko, or the verb to teach. So this is simply an imperfect. This is an aorist, because our didasko has ended up being didax, so that an S, a sigma, has been added to the end, an augment on the front. So that tells us this is aorist. Who taught the young men in the schoolhouse? 4. Ingarte tu didaskalu oikia hoi mathetai emethan graphen. Ingarte tu didaskalu oikia hoi mathetai emethan graphen. All right. So where's our main verb? It's emathon. That's our irregular aorist. So they learned, the students, the scholars, it's the word in the New Testament for disciples. The disciples learned graphene to write. Okay. Now at the beginning of the sentence, ingar, for in the te oikia, in the house of the master, the students learned to write. 5. Xerxes de pepampa dora kalato agatho satrape. Xerxes de pepampa dora kalato agatho satrape. But Xerxes, and now this is our irregular principal part, right from pempo. So if that didn't jump out at you right away, turn in your dictionary to pempo, which is on page 332, pempo, and there are your irregular principal parts: pempo, pemso, epimpsa, pepamfa, and then the two principal parts we haven't learned yet, pemamai and epimpthane. But pepamfa, that's the perfect. So Xerxes has sent good or noble gifts to the good satrap. 6. Ugar kakasein machen ala estratoisa metaton stratioton. Ugar kakasein machen ala estratoisa metaton stratioton. For he was not bad in battle. For he was not bad in battle. Again, there's that accusative specification. But, and now this is an aorist, he waged war, he led troops into battle, he strategized with the soldiers, along with the soldiers. 7. Hoidekorai athalmasan tas kangas para te thura. Hoidekorai athalmasan tas kangas para te thura. But the girls, the maidens, korai, the maidens, athalmasan, marveled at what? They marveled at the conchs, the shells, by the door. So again, that's an accusative specification. They marveled at. Oh, in what way did they marvel? They marveled at the shells by the door. 8. Epidetais petrais heurekes kasen, let's start that over. Epidetais petrais heurekasen hoi mathetais stolaskalas. Epidetais petrais heurekesan hoi mathetais stolaskalas. So our main verb is heurekasen. That is from heurisko. And we know that this is our irregular fourth principal part, so it's perfect. Also that asen ending tells us it's perfect. So they found. Who found? Hoi mathetai, because it's in the nominative. The scholars, the disciples found. And then what do they find? That's going to be in the accusative, the direct object. So that's stolaskalas. So the disciples found beautiful or noble robes, nice clothing, epidetais petrais, among the rocks, in the rocks. 9. Upeises tus persas kleptein tus hippus. ou paises tous persas kleptein tous hippus. Ou paises, this is future from peitho. That S, that sigma, eats up the theta. So you get paises. You will not persuade the Persians to steal the horses. And 10. Uk hora ein athroidzein tous palitas. Uk hora ein athroidzein tous palitas. It was not the hour. It was not the hour to gather the citizens. It was not the hour to gather the citizens. All right. So a rather straightforward chapter this time. If you want, on page 44, if you want to work on these longer sections, please go ahead and do that. And maybe even one of these days I'll pick one and go through it with you. But I want you to really spend your time working on those sentences and reviewing them, because I know this can be quite a lot to do in a week. So that's where I want you to focus your time. When it gives these longer readings, we can certainly look at those sometime, but it's not something I want you to make a priority. You need to be learning your vocabulary and forms, and the sentences, the translation practice sentences in each section will be more than enough to give you the work you need to learn it. So continue on with those, and then work to the next chapter.